Hey, rookie sleepers, and breakouts. Bradley, coach, here for you. Very excited. This rookie channel, just one quick note. As you get into this, we're trying to learn this rookie class. We're trying to guide you through. We're going to be here the whole entire way through. As the season progresses, we're going to track that. That's very important. Something that's kind of underrated in this industry. But please like and subscribe to Rookie HQ. It's very important because we get the good word out on this rookie class, and that's just going to help us in the coming years continue to do this layer upon layer. You're going to have an edge on your league mates. So follow Bradley, myself, Maddie, and Chev, and hit the like, hit the subscribe. A share goes a long way, just like you'll go a long way in your drafts, in your rookie drafts, and in your fantasy football championships. Alas, Bradley, we're here post Senior Bowl rookie mock. Let's get it fired up. We're excited. The Super Bowl is about to take off. We just had the Senior Bowl. Combine is going to be around the corner. Free agency is coming. We're just diving into these players. Bradley, how you doing?
Oh, this is great. Oh, this is one of my favorite, most favorite time of the year. Shout out to our player profiler faithful who are hanging out in Santa Clara, interviewing the players, surviving earthquakes. If you didn't hear, there was a 4.3 earthquake in San Francisco. Literally, player profiler guys are shaking the ground in California. So I'm excited. They're getting great interviews. I love the work that they're all doing there. And I'm excited to get into the FastDraft mock draft. I know we've done some of these before, but I've put it on random, and we're just going to find out where we're drafting at. If you're not familiar with FastDraft, you draft faster on FastDraft. Go to fastdraft.app, download it, get in there, and there's always some free contests. There's free rookie mock drafts. There's free Dynasty mock drafts. You can have vets. You can have rookies and vets, rookies by themselves. Third round reversal. Oh, you play in tight end premium? We got that too for you. Oh, super flex or two quarterbacks? Yep, you can toggle. You want to go deep? 16 teams, 7 rounds. Holy buckets, Jer. There's a lot of options here for you on Fast Draft. This is the time. And this is also the time to get in the extra reps where everyone is enamored with the Super Bowl. But Fast Draft has the rabbit out. You get the edge. The longer the rabbit is out, the less of an edge there is, especially for the sharps. So get in there. If you think you've got a chance, jump into the rabbit today. $10. $10 for the rabbit, coach. And but today it's the Dynasty mock draft that we're going to do, just the rookies. Are you ready to jump in, find out where we're drafting from?
Man, it's crazy. When you said go deeper, Bradley, I am feeling like Michael Scott. And that's what she said. Let's go. Let's go.
All right,
deeper.
let's go deeper. Start Dynasty mock. We're going to start in 10 seconds, and we are banished to the 7. What is that? The
108.
8 spot. The 108.
So, Bradley, just talking here. Is there any scenario where Fernando Mendoza is the 101? Is there anything? And I know I'm talking to a guy who's a Notre Dame fan. It's Jeremiyah Love or bust. Is there any scenario, though? We talked last week, Bradley, about a quad stack. We were talking about underdog, best ball price points, rookies versus vets, prospects versus pros. Fernando Mendoza, quad stack. We told the illustrious story there. The opportunity, because you're going to have Bowers, Janty, high top tier players. Probably pair a rookie in early round 2 for Fernando Mendoza. Is there any rookie fever, any sickness that's going to occur between now? I'm just asking the question, between now and the NFL draft and those rookie drafts, where Fernando Mendoza, you see him fired off in some of those super flex drafts. Is he the 101 anywhere? Can you justify it?
I can see it. There are some teams that are going to want to get a player like Fernando Mendoza as a starting quarterback. You can see positional scarcity driving his value up, especially if you're in a dynasty league that is super flex. And if your team is in need of a solid starting quarterback, I think Mendoza profiles as a starter right away. He's going to be one of those players that is consistently, oh, there we go, 100th percentile. Shout out to Bradley getting there. We love it. You love to see it. Nevertheless, we'll take a look at the draft board.
Absolutely. So we see
But
Jeremiah
yes.
Love goes 101.
Mhm.
In a lot of this board, as you're looking at the Origins tournament that's here on FastDraft, we're not going to have overlay, but you're going to have just as good, the next best thing equivalent, because you have dead players in here. You have dead selections for players who, hey, they went back. Somebody like Hollywood Smothers, who's listed here, he went back. So that team, if they draft, they're already uphill. So if you just have viable players in every single slot in this first round of Origins, you have an advantage against the field. Of course, the next Origins tourney comes out. It's going to be all active players. But we see Bradley. Jeremiah Love goes 101.
Oh.
Kenyon Sadiq, I can see a case for him to go 3 or 4 in a tight end premium, probably as high as the 104. I don't see how he goes much higher than that. So number 2 overall seems aggressive. I love the value that Team 3 gets on Makai and Lemon.
Oh.
Where are you between Carnell Tate and Makai Lemon? Who would be your wide receiver 1? And am I asking the correct question with those two being the options? Is it Jordan Tyson? Is it someone else who's your wide receiver 1?
So the projected draft capital right now for these two players is Carnell Tate, a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. So we're looking at some landing spots. I think in one of our previous mocks, we saw Tate go number 10 to the Bengals. But if he's going 8 or 7, you could see Washington reload. That would be a wheels up scenario with Jaden Daniels, right? He's the Terry McLaurin successor, Ohio State buddies, right? This works out. The Saints, same thing. You land with Chris Olave, again, an Ohio State buddy, right? This works out. Kansas City is also in an interesting spot because we don't know what's going on with the Rashee Rice domestic violence situation. Travis Kelce, maybe he retires. There's not a lot of clarity. There's very much opportunity in Kansas City. So I could see any one of these scenarios. Tyreek Hill is gone from Miami at 11. So I don't think he makes it past Miami at 11. So yeah, there's immediate opportunity. He played very well at Ohio State. He's being the mocks I've been seeing, projected draft capital is that he's going to be the highest drafted wide receiver at this point. It's February 3rd, but that's why I'm leaning Carnell Tate, because you have Makai Lemon. Let's say he goes in the middle, right? Let's say he goes 15, 16, 17, 15 to the Bucks, crowded, even if Mike Evans leaves. Who is that? The Jets at 16?
Yep.
Yikes.
That's purgatory. Purgatory at 2. So Carnell Tate, he may have to look. Carnell Tate will hopefully dodge pick 2 overall. He won't have to dodge pick 16 because between 2 and 16, Bradley, Carnell Tate will be selected. But my God, any of those receivers who are getting top 15, top half draft capital in round 1, it's Jordan, Tyson, Tate, and then Makai Lemon. Those 3 are for sure going to go in the near the top 15. So if one kind of falls just a little bit to that 16 spot, just a purgatory spot for the Jets, Makai Lemon, to me, is very value insulated. I would be very scared for my life if Makai Lemon went to the New York Jets, just because it's a quarterback situation. We're not scared of Garrett Wilson in a vacuum. What we're scared of is Garrett Wilson's situation. And Makai Lemon would just be, that'd be a death knell early on, just for year 1, just for the beginning. It would be terrible. It would be a player that I'd want to select maybe a few spots later, maybe the 105, because then people would be kind of off him a little bit, hopefully. But you have to run the same exercise thought experiment for Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate, if you have him as a 101 wide receiver in this class, you absolutely would have to feel the same way about the Jets. Just long story short, if you can dodge the Jets, you can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge anything if you can dodge the Jets. It's the moral of the story. I look at the Cleveland Browns. They're a team that's ripe to get a wide receiver, but I think preferentially, I would like them to get somebody like a Chris Bell, who you see goes in round 2 here. He's a player who the Browns have pick 6 and they have pick 24 overall from the Jaguars. They have an early second round pick. Build and scaffold elsewhere on the team, and then get a luxury pick in somebody like a Chris Bell, who his size, the way he plays crossers and drags over the middle, pair him with somebody like Harold Fannin Jr., and I think that would just erupt for the Browns. It would just be a perfect stylistic pairing. It would be great for Shedeur Sanders or whichever quarterback we deem eligible, be it Deshaun Watson. He may massage his way in there. We shall see. We don't know what quarterback is going to be with the Browns. I hope, for one, that Shedeur Sanders just gets a full fair shot. And why not go all in, find out? And then, worst case scenario, you've got so much draft capital because if you're not selecting a quarterback and you're the Browns, you have all this steep draft capital. Why not have faith in yourself to go for it with Shedeur Sanders? Because then, if he's terrible, you're back in this spot and you have a built team around him for the new quarterback. And then if Shedeur Sanders succeeds, you've had success. So that's something I like. So reading the board, I really love, we were talking about detrimental spots for Lemon, Tate, and Tyson. Sure enough, it's just, hey, just don't go to the Jets. Anywhere else, you are talented. Chris Bell comes up as a value for me. Where did Omar Cooper? Did you see where Omar Cooper went in here? Because I see Elijah Sarratt went round 2.
I'm not even seeing him in here.
All right, the machine is broken because Omar Cooper is phenomenal. I have him right after Casey Concepcion. He would be my wide receiver 5 in that case because Concepcion is my wide receiver 4. I'm putting Casey Concepcion in a tier with Jordan Tyson. He's not Tyson then tier Casey Concepcion. You're just getting a discount on Concepcion. The talent is there for Casey Concepcion. I love Omar Cooper. Bradley, between Omar Cooper and Elijah Sarratt, who do you like more? Who do you think is more pro ready?
Well, we're pulling it up right now. We're looking at, the comparing some of the stats. I've got it up. Omar Cooper, 58 for 804 and 11 touchdowns this year. Holy buckets. Elijah Sarratt, 47 for 644, 11 touchdowns. Like, their PFF grades are nearly identical. 85.9, 85.4. Both guys playing for Indiana. That's how we're looking at it. However, very different places. Omar Cooper, 83% in the slot. The slot guys, it just seems take a while to develop. Like, plug and play into the NFL. And sometimes they hit, and sometimes it takes a while. You think of the Elijah Moore, Rondell Moores, who had good draft capital, like second round, but just couldn't find their footing. But then you have a Wan'Dale Robinson that it took a couple years for him to get going. Both undersized guys. And Omar Cooper, 6'204", so much bigger, maybe more power slot, a little bit more than these other guys. The smaller traditional slot. Very interesting to me. Depends on where the team that drafts him wants him to play, because Indiana used Omar Cooper primarily on the outside his first 2 seasons. But then last 2025, almost exclusively in the slot, 83%. So it depends on where is he going to play, because he obviously thrived in the slot for Indiana. However, I don't know. I don't know, Coach. It depends.
I love Omar Cooper. I really like a lot of what Elijah Sarratt does. To me, Elijah Sarratt is a smaller version Mike Evans, but I do have concern if there's a little bit slower and a little bit smaller in size, if it will translate to the NFL being a big boundary wide receiver when you should have a little bit more size going your way in Elijah Sarratt. Where I want to focus on Omar Cooper though, the 85-15 percentage where it's more slot alpha tendencies that Omar Cooper has. He understands zone pockets very well, how to navigate them.
Right.
That's a trait that Makai Lemon has. And their sharp cuts. Shep talks about a dead leg that Cooper has. I see it as the sharp cuts they make for the appearance of speed. So come combine time, you're going to hear right now, there's a lot of hype build steaming for Omar Cooper. You're not going to get like a double count or an extra count or another pocket to spike with Omar Cooper testing out of the world. He is what he is. He's a guile in how he delivers his speed on the field. Not going to necessarily be a burner, but is so efficient and smart in how he plays, in how he steps and moves and maneuvers and cuts, that makes it appear fast. That is fast. That is NFL. That is game football fast. The coolest thing about Omar Cooper, though, is his blocking ability. He's responsible on film when you watch 4 touchdowns happening. And that's going to extend drives. That's going to keep players around him doing better in fantasy football. And I would love him paired. Chev mentioned the 49ers would be a great spot.
Ooh.
I wouldn't mind. We talked about the quad stack for the Raiders with Mendoza. Why not Omar Cooper in early round 2 in lieu of Elijah Sarratt? So the reunion that people may want is Elijah Sarratt. To me, give me Omar Cooper back with Fernando Mendoza. And last thing on Cooper, to me, next to anybody, pound for pound, he is the most NFL ready, all around wide receiver, NFL player, ready to go. Coaches will salivate over him. He does all the good things off the ball, and he does excellent things with the ball in his hand. So all around, that's something that you just can't fake it, and he has it. So absolutely, I'm huge on Omar Cooper. So love that. Hey, Bradley, let's hear from the Podfather real quick. Talking origins, talking all these players. Let's hear what he has to say about these rookies.
Rookie draft season is now, and you know that because on FastDraft we have the Origins tournament. That's right, the first, way too early, all rookie tournament is live. There's a $10,000 prize pool. Start practicing for your rookie drafts and leverage your knowledge of rookies by winning cash. And given that it's close to 50% full, if not already well beyond 50% full, a lot of those drafts included players that actually did not come out. So every draft that happens from here until this thing fills, you're getting positive EV. So go to fastdraft.app, get the app, and sign up with your host promo code for a $50 deposit match, or use code FAST. FastDraft is the next hot fantasy game, so get out there and start drafting faster.
Hey,
That's
start
right.
drafting faster. Fast draft.
Okay, fast trivia question for you, Coach.
I'm listening.
Missed tackles forced.
Are we talking about
Omar
running back?
Cooper? Omar Cooper.
Yeah.
Where does Omar Cooper rank among all 2026 wide receivers in all of college football in missed tackles forced?
I'm going to say 5th.
Second.
Oh, beautiful. Even better.
He was second only to Eric McAllister of TCU. Omar Cooper. And then third, another trivia question. Who was third behind Omar Cooper? You know this guy.
Are you trying to bait me into Elijah Sarratt?
No.
How good do I love this guy? Is it Casey Concepcion?
No, not Concepcion. So Cooper is 2. Who is 3?
Is it Makai Lemon?
It's Makai Lemon.
Yes. Okay. Now I remember that because there was something I had a couple. It's funny in notes. There's like these 2 notes I made where the physicality on Makai Lemon,
right?
Where you think, okay, archetype is just a puny slot receiver, but he's got more physicality to him. Cool thing about Makai Lemon is on film, all of a sudden, boom, balls to him, and there's just a radius all around him, a ton of green grass all the time. And you're sitting there, it's like hide and seek. How did this guy get wide open or freeze tag and you're not getting caught? It's just wild how Makai Lemon has this ability to find different pockets in the field and have that physicality. But he's not just going to go down with arm tackles. And that's just another thing where you expand the play. You have yak ability. And for his size, you cannot cut down on Makai Lemon. And that's where, I mean, shy of, the GD Jets, as they say in Big Daddy, you're not getting anywhere where it's going to be a bad situation for Makai Lemon. Value insulation, and even on the Jets, I gotta tell you, it's disgusting. I'm gonna, plug my nose. Absolutely would still buy Makai Lemon with the Jets just for this prayer sake of there's going to be another quarterback.
There's got to be.
If it's Mac Jones, I'll take Mac Jones. Like, how dirty do you want to be? How disgusting and desperate do you want to be in your life? You got Jets fans who are rooting for Sam Darnold to win a Super Bowl against the Patriots, and that's their form of winning. So I guess there are lower lows, but my God, I'm gonna believe it to a degree. Just give me Mac Jones, just to some degree. Anybody with a pulse.
Oh, yeah,
Bradley.
Maybe not Kyler Murray. Maybe.
How about impressions? Any other impressions of post Senior Bowl? You got Malachi Fields. Let's talk about Malachi Fields. Notre Dame.
Yes.
Malachi Fields, very physical. He's a player who has a couple toothpaste out of the tube moments, I like to call him. Has a one-handed grab versus Pitt with a ball stuck to him like glue. And then, hey, it's not the gloves. People want to talk about the gloves. High points of football on the touchdown catch. He's spinning in the air, touchdown against Pitt, at the pylon, keeps his body in control, and he survived the ground. Much needed at the NFL. It's funny, he's my wide receiver 10 in the class, and he's like a little tiered down version of Chris Bell. So Malachi Fields, 91% out wide, 9% slot. What do you make of him? 6'4", 223. Does he got the right stuff? Where do you think would be a good pairing for him?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've been seeing mocks for him all over the place. It seems a strong drumbeat for day 2, like round 3, but I think we're going to see some measurables that are very interesting. So the initial, before we get to the combine, he's 6'4", 222. With speed, acrobatics, can make big plays. You know what comes to mind? A big player who's 6'4", 220 plus, got day 2 draft capital. Mapletron, Chase Claypool. That's very interesting. I think I want to take shots in best ball leagues on Malachi Fields. Maybe not in the dynasty leagues, because the reason why he's not going round 1, this is like the philosophy of dynasty drafting to these types of wide receivers. They have some elite traits, which means that some coach is going to be tantalized. They're going to get an opportunity to spike. We want to take shots on these athletic freaks who are getting day 2 draft capital, because they're going to get opportunity at some point. Just like how we saw Chase Claypool get opportunity. Yes, it was his rookie year, but boom. And then he was a sell high moment. I don't know if necessarily Malachi Fields is going to have double-digit touchdowns, but that's in the range of outcomes of a type of player who has this athletic profile and can win down the field. His yards per reception on the season, 17.5. Average depth of target, 16.4. And that was the second time in his career that his ADOT was over 16. So teams, Virginia, Notre Dame, didn't matter where. They were trying to get him down the field, win big. That's why his catch percentage was 58%. They were trying him down the field, high risk plays, boom plays, and a player who's 6'4", 222 is hard to get to the ground if he catches it fluidly. So you think from a philosophy perspective, I want to take shots late in my best ball drafts on Malachi Fields. I'm not taking very much Dynasty Malachi Fields. That's where the nuance is here.
A question for somebody like a Malachi Fields. Are you sitting there in Dynasty saying to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my shots on a running back. Could be a Jamari Taylor. Could be a Seth McGowan. I don't know how far, because the hype is there for Malachi Fields. It may be more in that Mike Washington range, where Mike Washington has caught plenty of steam. He was, I think, the second fastest in the entire Senior Bowl for miles per hour. So the 40 be damned. We could end up, it's so funny. Players will hit 20 plus miles per hour on a run, and then they'll run like a 4.6, and you'll be like, oh, wait a second, what's going on here? You know, how important is that 4.40 that so many people like, sub 4.5 40? So are you more prone and inclined to go for somebody like a Mike Washington over Malachi Fields? And then is your delineation, because you're saying best ball, sounds like you're saying to me, Bradley, you don't have long-term faith that Malachi Fields will be a week-over-week starter that you want, be it a wide receiver 1, 2. It sounds like maybe 3, and sometimes a 2 is in the range for Malachi Fields. It doesn't sound like you believe in the consistency.
Coach, look at what he did at Notre Dame. There were 2 games where he had 5 or more receptions. You cannot depend upon, he's not commanding targets in this offense.
The only pushback, is that a symptom though of the heavy run offense with Jeremiyah Love and Jadarian Price, to where you put him in a better position where, hey, it's a 600 pass attempt Dallas Cowboys, and then all of a sudden we have a gem that we're uncovering. I guess that's more my question on him as a prospect.
This is the profile though throughout his career. Like, he spent 5 years in college, and the last 3, 14 yards per reception, 14.7, 17.5. Like, he's playing mostly on the outside. He hasn't had above a 60% reception catch rate in any full-time role. So when you're throwing to him, you're probably like you're completing your passes less than 60% of the time. Yes, it's a big play, but that's not the player who over the last 3 years we've seen targeted in that type of way. So it's a downfield type of player. That's why the comp feels even better and better the more I talk about it, is like a Chase Claypool. Like, Claypool they were manufacturing some touches for him because they liked his speed, his size. You saw like 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. That's a possibility. There's a love of the athleticism, but the reason why he's not getting round 1 buzz is because there are going to be things that come out in his profile at the combine that say, yep, he's missing something, or else he would have already be getting the round 1 buzz that we want.
Yeah, I think that's all fair, well and good. Essentially, what you're going to see year 1, it's not a guaranteed run out for Malachi Fields. It's a question, though, I think we'll be at a crossroads at some point, and law of large numbers over time bear themselves out. To your point, that college profile, we'll see. We can micromanage and microanalyze. Hey, was it just the type of passing, the type of offense? That's always something that happens. And part of the traits and reason why we go to these Senior Bowls, part of the reason why we go to these combines, is to see if we can catch on any of these numbers, any of these traits where we're saying, oh, hold on, whatever happened there isn't measuring up to what could happen for this archetype of a player. And you have plenty of things going on. I had a coach, or a strength and conditioning coach, that I see at my gym tell me he worked in the NFL, worked for the Chargers at one point, said at the combine, there's even down to monitoring body types of players in their extremities, talking about their wrists, their ankles, checking to see the angular, the build, whether or not they be injury prone. It's that minute and down to it. So it's funny. We have to trust and understand that there'll be some scouting through this, and then you're just going to see the rollout, and draft day will reveal itself. I feel like come draft day, this is going to be another conversation that we're going to have. Fortunately, Bradley, we're going to be high-fiving about Jeremiyah Love. I'm very confident we're going to be high-fiving about Jadarian Price, your Notre Dame love there.
Oh,
and then Malachi Fields, I think it's just going to be a draft day discussion where we're just going to resume this one. So I think we bookmarked this for now. And Bradley, that's just a great spot to stop. We're heading into the Super Bowl. It's the most wonderful time of year.
yes.
Bradley Stalder, Coach Reslaff, give us a like, subscribe to Rookie HQ, and then you're just going to get more of this, more breakdowns. You want to get ahead and an edge on your league mates. Come see us, subscribe, and share with your friends. And you know what? The friends that you don't want to beat you, you don't have to share it with them. But you got a lot of friends, relatives, people who play, who you're not worried about. Hey, give them the winning edge. Send them to us. Like and subscribe. We will see you next week.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to playerprofiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, data analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.